What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to episode 4 of 10 in the Pit. Today we're going to be going over the push away and what that should look like on our first or second step of our 4 or 5 step approach. So stay tuned for some demonstrations and of course, let's get better today. Alright, so let's talk about why the push away is so important to the overall scheme of our approach. Now, our timing is set up with the push away. It's the basis of our timing with our full approach. We need to get this right so the rest of the arm swing is in sync with our feet. If we don't get this right and we're off by just a little bit, our entire approach can be ruined and we can either get the ball left off of our hand or get the ball right of our hand, and then having to do other things through the approach that exerts extra energy, that kills our ball motion. Lots of different things can happen with just the timing, and this is why it's so crucial to get that push away correct. So let's dive into some demonstrations and hit the lanes so we can see what this should look like. Okay, welcome back to the bowling alley, guys. We're going to be starting doing the push-off drill. So I'm going to show you kind of what the push-off should look like. We're going to take 2 steps or 1 step for a 4 or 5 step approach. We're going to take a look and see what that push away looks like. So we're going to grab a ball. Any ball will work. We're going to come to the line just like we talked about in our setup drill. About a foot, foot and a half away from the dots. For me, this is kind of personalized for you. And we're going to set up like we talked about. And the ball is going to roll into our hands. So we're going to get into this position. And then for a 5-step approach, we're going to take 1 step with our left foot and then push off as soon as our right foot goes. So it's going to look like this.
Okay, what I want you to notice here in these clips is the direction of the ball is getting pushed away. It's very straight and square to the target. We don't want to get too far left or we don't want to get too far right.
Okay, so we're going to take a side view of what the push away looks like, and this is probably the most important view. That's just kind of giving you kind of what it would look like from the front and back. But here we're going to do a side view, and this is going to be important so you can see timing when this ball gets pushed away. So we'll do a 5-step approach, what I normally do, and then I'll show you what a 4-step approach would look like. So again, setting up to the lane just like we did in the setup video. We're getting nice and set up in an athletic position. Then I'm going to take a step with my left foot here, and then I'm going to push off when my right foot goes. So left foot, right foot. Okay, and so that is what it's supposed to look like on a 5-step approach. If we're doing a 4-step approach, I'm obviously taking a step away, so I'm still going to set up just the same with my feet, but instead this foot's going to be the first foot to go, and I'm going to immediately push the ball. So that's going to look something like this. And that's what it should look like from the side view. This is the most important view so we can see timing, because timing is everything from this push away. The rest of our approach's timing is going to be dependent on what we do right here. So this is why we're doing it.
Okay, so what I want you to note from these angles here on the side view is the timing. That's the most important thing that we're doing with the push away, not necessarily anything mechanical, but the timing. So my first stutter step goes here on the 5-step, and then as soon as that right foot starts moving, the ball is getting pushed forward so that it can fall into the approach. And we're looking for roughly the ball to be belt high when our left foot for right-handers or right foot for left-handers starts to come off the ground again. So this is really important to get this timing correct. So right there I finished the step, and then our ball was roughly belt high getting in motion. Okay, so what I want us to see here, we're doing the side view again, but now this is the 4-step approach. So no stutter step here, just my right foot's going, and as soon as my right foot's going, the ball is getting pushed and then dropping into the swing. So that's what we really want to look here. If you're a left-hander, it's just the opposite. Left foot goes, ball goes. Right foot here, it's starting to move, and I'm immediately starting to push the ball out nice and smooth so that it can drop into the arm swing.
Okay, welcome back, guys. I hope you got something out of those demonstrations because they gave us a really good look into what the push away should look like and the timing of that push away. There's a couple points I want to hit on after we watch those demonstrations, and if you need to, please go watch them again and then compare them to yourself, because that's how we're going to get better. Now, some things I want to point out is one, it doesn't need to look exactly like what I look like in camera. Now, that's kind of the theme of this. We don't want exact things. There's just points I want us to hit, like our shoulder tilt. That's super important in the setup. And the same is going to go for this. Our placement of our ball in the setup needs to be close, and the push away needs to be close as well. There's just some points that we need to hit. We need to start that ball on the foot. So if we're right-handed, our right foot, or if we're left-handed, our left foot. We need to start the ball when that foot goes. When that foot goes, we're pushing the ball away. Now, another thing I want us to hit on is we are not forcing the ball here. So we're not pushing our shoulder forward and then ripping it back. We're just getting the ball and dropping it into a push away. That's one key thing I see a lot of beginner bowlers do, is we push it forward and then pull it back. And that's why the ball feels so heavy, is because we're doing that. Now, when we're using our big muscles and just letting the ball swing and using that energy that it builds up as the ball is moving, when you have a 15-pound object moving at that speed, this muscle's not even after bowling for so long, that would hurt me. So that's why we are trying to take out these small muscles in our arms and just let the ball freely swing back and freely swing forward. And that is why this is crucial here in the push away. If we start with muscling the ball forward and pulling it back, the whole entire arm swing is going to be that way. So that's probably the biggest tip I would say with the push away, is to keep it loose. We're just pushing the ball forward in front of us and letting it drop into our arm swing. Other than that, it can really look like whatever you need it to look like. Some kind of general things is if we start to push it too far left or too far right, we don't want to do this. We want it fairly straight, potentially a little left, but we really want it to be pretty straight. Now again, it just wants to be comfortable for you, and it's very on a personal preference basis. So that's it for the push away. It's not super difficult to get the push away, but man, is it super important to get this part right so we can start the arm swing and start the approach on a good note and create this basis for us to throw the ball in a manner that's going to get us 10 of the pip. So if you like this video, please throw some comments down. Ask me anything, please. I love to answer all your guys' questions. Like the video, share it with your friends if you guys are having any trouble at all with the push away, because this is something I struggle with as well. Be sure to watch this video again and watch those demonstrations closely and compare them to yourself. I appreciate you guys tuning in with us today, and stay tuned for next week's episode of 10 of the Pip. Thanks, guys.